name is Dayo Oladiji, and this is Rise and Thrive with Dayo. It's a podcast dedicated to helping people discover purpose. Very, very important, discovering your purpose, because if the foundation is good, then the future will be good. So it focuses at young individuals, talking about discovering your purpose and embracing your purpose. So how can a person transition from just surviving financially to thriving and building real wealth? Like, how do you start the journey of building real wealth?
You know, I'm laughing. I want to say, kudos to every Nigerian that has been surviving over the last couple of months.
I'd like to clap for them.
I'm serious, because you deserve a lot of clap at their work. It's really not been the easiest time. And, yes, in as much as, everybody wants to, make attempts, make pushes, try to push ahead, right? I think the number one step that everybody must take is to decide. I can call you and say, let's do this this way, do this way. If deep down in your body, that decision has not been made yet, it will be difficult. It's like when we were trying to grow up now, they told us many things to do. Did we do it? We didn't listen. It was later on when we, by ourselves, now decided that, look, I think it's time to start doing these things, that we started to now pay attention to it and commit to it. So I think the first step in transitioning is deciding. You need to be tired of where you are. That's the truth. It's not about, I don't have money yet, or I don't have the kind of job I want yet. It's a decision that comes from the inside. That's not going to cost you anything.
Yeah.
Because when you decide, your mind can start to focus on the right things. You can start to ask yourself the right questions. Am I where I should be? Where am I going? How do I get there? What I'm currently doing, can it get me there? Is there something else I can do that can get me to where I'm going faster? You can start to think the right way. But if you don't decide deep down in your system that I want to start to make that switch, that transition, you won't do it. That's the first step. You need to decide. Now, how do you decide? I think there's enough problems that can propel a person to feel like, look, where I am is not enough. But like you said, there's somebody that you mentioned that, he's okay with where he is. So if you're okay with where you are, there's little I can say that can convince you. But if you're out there and you feel like, look, there can be a change. Forget about your income at this moment. There can be a change. You should decide that first. That's the first step. When you decide that, look, I want to change, the next question is, change into what? A big issue that, even when it comes to money, a big issue is a lot of people don't have a target, what you're looking forward, what you're working towards. Oh, I want to save money. You should be saving. I want to save. You start saving. You don't know what you're saving for. You don't have a target specifically in mind. You are just on Dawo, just putting money together. There's no how. Something will come and take the money. But if this is what I'm working towards specifically, and it is written down, this is what I want to do. This is exactly what I'm working towards. When something else comes, I want to take that money, you remember why you're doing it in the first place. That keeps you in line. First step, you need to decide. Second step, you need to decide. You need to find exactly what goal you're aiming, what are you looking for specifically. When you have that, okay, look, today I'm here, this is where I'm going. Now, it doesn't have to be something enormous, but have a target. If you are saving money, what are you saving money for? If you're doing, what am I doing this for? You need to decide. Oh, I want to be free. I want to be able to have money for emergencies. Like something comes up, I will not be afraid. Some of the reasons that people just panic, like ridiculously, when something small happens, I so money. There's no money. But there's sometimes you have a lot of money with you. Something happens. What happened really? You can easily look into it. So I think the first step is having that at the back of my mind that I want to make a change. I want to transition. The second step is having a target. This is what I'm aiming for. The third step is, how do I get there? And this is the part that not a lot of people, know how to navigate their way around, right? The knowledge. What do I need to get to where I want to get to? And this is where knowledge comes. This is where financial literacy comes in, right? You need to know exactly what you should do with money, right? Generally, if I'm going to just in simple steps or simple points summarize what I think financial literacy is all about, it's not beyond budgeting. And when I say budget, I don't mean be stingy to yourself. That's not what I'm saying. I don't mean don't spend money. You say you work hard. The day they pay salary, by the next day you order food to show that, reward yourself for all the work you have done. I don't think that may be the best approach. Because before you know, food, if you're not careful, if you check your bank statement, ordering food can be the biggest line item outside transport and rent. So it's not the time to now say, you need to be able to say, look, my money that I earn, I'm going to send it on an errand. The day I started that, I've been writing budgets now for for a long time now. And every single month in my notepad, what I'm going to spend money on is written there till the last naira. So there's no money that comes into my hand that is from my regular income streams that I don't know what I want to use it for. I already know ahead of time. So nothing can just come up. No. Something is nice. No. It's not like I don't have a budget for these things. But if I exhaust the budget for Jaye, Otitonu, do you understand? You need to have a plan. You need to know exactly what you're going to use your money for. So the last naira, when I get paid, let's even talk about my salary, I can't sleep that night without moving the money to where it needs to go. I'm serious. I cannot sleep. I don't make money because if I don't do it, what I should do, the moment the money is there, something can come out. Buy. I will do that. It can scatter my plan. But the moment the money comes in, because I already have a written plan on how I want to put the money, when is going to do this, or I put zero, no, salary account. Okay. Now this is money I should be spending on this. It's easier. Something will not just pop up in your face. So I think budgeting is really important. And one simple thing that you can do is you can divide, if you have one stream of income, or maybe we'll talk about income later, but if you have one stream of income, break it into 3. This is a simple way you can start. 50% to your needs. Now, needs and wants are different things. And what you think your needs are may actually be wants. You know, you can deceive yourself to thinking that we need there. Oh, need there. You may not necessarily need it. So you need to know what your needs are specifically. What are the things that I need to live my life in this month? One of the mistakes that I made earlier on was at the point where I got angry, I felt like, look, there has to be a change. I can't continue like this, right? I tried to do the impossible before I did the necessary. I made that mistake. I didn't know that that was what I was doing. But later on, when I heard the quote from my boss, I now figured that that was the problem I was having. So you know you are angry that, look, I've been earning money for many years now. I must change. You now start to, money comes in, salary comes in. You now pack plenty bits. You want to save and invest. When the needs now arise, you have to go and bring the money out from where you got it. So you've got to decide what are your needs exactly. And then what are your wants? You must live enough to live your life normally in a frugal way, but enough to live your life at least at the basic level. Because if you don't, that money you're trying to keep aside, you will bring it back. So what are your needs? You know, transportation, housing, feeding, daily little expenses, electricity, all these things. Your needs. You need to know what they are. You need to know how much you spend on these things. You can't just not know how much you spend on data or how much you spend on fuel. You need to know these things. It's your responsibility. A simple way you can do that, maybe on all your transfers, you put a description, they just put something. So that at the end of the month, when you download your statement and you look by yourself, you can know what has been putting you in trouble. Know what your needs are. When you know what your needs are, a lot of books will tell you 50% of your income. Now, it depends on your income level. We'll get into that later on, but know your needs. Know your wants. Know what they are. Because you must also take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself too, a little bit of frustration can come into the place. It may seem like you're working, and then know what your wants are, and then find some part of your income dedicated to it. Okay. So that, this is how much I'm spending. If I earn, let's assume that I earn 100,000 naira. In Nigeria of today, it cannot do much for anybody. But let's even assume that that's where I have. And I decided, okay, I want to spend 20,000 this particular thing, this particular month. Or on anything I need to do outside my basic needs. Maybe I want to wear a battery, I want to buy this shoe, I want to buy. Let's assume that's what you want to do. Have a budget for that and do that. But you see, when you have known that your needs, you've accounted for your needs, you know what you want to use money for, you put it aside. You also have to put something aside for yourself. Look, you work too hard to not keep anything for yourself, and that's the truth. You earn a salary, right? And then you pay everybody. Pay the bus driver, pay the fuel station, pay your tithes. You pay everybody. You pay everything, but you don't pay yourself. You don't keep anything for yourself. It's payment, I hope you know. The Uber driver, you paid him. The bus driver, you paid him. The person that's selling clothes, tailor, you pay everybody, but you don't pay yourself. You don't pay yourself. And you hear things like, it's not enough. The truth is, whether you save some, keep some for yourself or not, it will finish. It's going to finish. So keep something. Now, sometimes if you try, like I was saying, to do the impossible and say, because I want to keep something, I keep something too much, it can also bite you. It's very possible to save too much. I made this mistake. It's very, very possible. Relax, but make sure you put something specific. It may not be too much, but consistently you keep it. You can start with 10%. You can start with 20%. You can start with 5%, but keep something aside. When you start these 3 things, first of all, it's a beginning template for you to now build on. On whatever income level, you can start this way. When you arrange it like this and you start to work your way upwards, it can help. I think budget is the first step to moving or transitioning from surviving to building wealth.
Wow, wonderful. This is so much information. Like, seriously, my head, I was like, okay, I'm trying to, yes, I write budgets. At times, I'm not consistent. At times, my budget's in my head. You understand? So I'm saying that I want to do this, I want to do this. And there are some months that, okay, I'll write it down.
Yeah.
And it's not that anytime I don't write it down, I will just be knowing that there is something I want to do because I didn't write it down. And you said something that's very important about unknown emergencies just coming up back. And I think that is actually because you don't have a budget, you don't have a plan. It's about planning your finance at any level. See, this is what I believe a lot of people do not do.
Yeah.
People never ever write down their expenses. They do not write budgets. At times, I fall into that Dayo. When it's just coming,
it's just going.
And you know, at times, if you're not careful, when you're living, because you know there is at the average cadre in the world, at the average cadre, you have those that are the top average, that are the middle average, and that are the bottom average. Yeah. You know, when you are at the top average, at times you feel that look now, the money is there,
money will come,
and that problem is, you know, I was still going to talk about that. You're still going to advise people, those that earn, you know, well, that are at the top average. It is easy for you to remain at average for a long time because you keep feeling that if I exhaust this money, and that money will come, and it's actually a good amount of money. So that is, and also I picked something from there, doing the necessary first before the impossible. I think it's just like you just shone a light on my path. I have been making this mistake.
The day that this light opened up in my head, it changed a lot for me. If you do that, if you just focus on the necessary first, before you now do, the quote is not even complete, is do the necessary first, before you do what's possible. When you do that, before you know it, you are doing the impossible. Before, I was trying to do the impossible. That's why I will earn money, I will try to keep money. I will not save or put what I should put in place, meaning what I should put in place, my necessities, I won't do that. So when the little is out, I have to bring back from what I've kept. So like you said, that light, if it comes up in anybody's mind, it can put a lot of things into perspective.